Hi, this is Tegan's Horror Corner. This is the next part to the Lego Hocus Pocus Sanderson Sisters house set, where I give you spooky or horror movie facts, so come along with me to this next part. Upon much request on the TikTok stories, let's talk about Saw today. The first Saw movie was never meant to get a sequel. James Wan and Lee Whannell were originally never anticipating for it to actually be successful. Even with the sequel baiting ending, they wanted it to be a standalone movie. All of Saw 2 was shot in one location. Yes, even Amanda's apartment and the police station all shot in one location. The needle pit was one of the worst traps to set up. First, the crew had to fill the pit with 120,000 syringes, replace the tips of the needle points with fibre tips so that Shawnee Smith would not stab herself while filming. For extra measure, they filled it all with gelatin and water so that they were extra slippery. In 2010, Saw got a Guinness World Record. It was for most successful horror movie series. Saw was partly inspired by David Fincher's Seven. The idea for Jigsaw came from Lee's medical scare. Lee Whannell had lots of migraines at one point to the point where he thought he had a brain tumour. While having an MRI scan, he thought to himself, what if I was told I had a brain tumour and what would I do with my life on that point? In a funny turn of events from its parody, Scary Movie 4, in Saw 3 they had to use that set that was created in Scary Movie 4 to use for a bathroom scene. The first movie was only shot in 18 days, 2 of which Danny Glover was actually filming and 1 of which Shawnee Smith actually filmed. Every movie except for Spiral and Saw 3D had a charity tie-in. It was an advertising campaign to give blood to the Red Cross. They called it the Halloween Blood Drive, or sometimes calling it Give It Till It Hurts. And being as it was a huge success, helped to challenge prejudice against members of the LGBTQIA+ members to be able to give blood. Tandra Howard won her role as Simone in Scream 6 by competing in a Scream Queen game contest. The franchise, excluding Saw X, has accumulated 104 body count so far. Saw 3D being the highest with 27 people, and Saw 1 and 5 being the lowest as they both have just 6 people. And if you ever want a rundown of the body count, you can watch Dead Meat, which is one of my favourite horror YouTube channels. There is a comic called Saw Rebirth, which gives a more in-depth look from what we see obviously in the movies of how John Kramer turns into Jigsaw. James Wan created Billy the Puppet himself. He designed it, then of course with the low budget being as it was basically a student film at the time, he then sewed it all together himself. Now it is being made by Mark Anthony as part of Trick or Treat Studios and Lionsgate. The pig mask is actually meant to be a tribute as towards the Chinese New Year, the Year of the Pig. And this is because the Year of the Pig was the year that John Kramer started to do his traps. Here is the progress so far. Come back for the next part.